Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Not sure why that's up. That's not where we're racing today. How are we all doing? I would like to welcome everybody back to our Sunday afternoon entertainment. And that's right, we're back with the Pure Racing League. I don't think I need to remind everybody that was the absolutely great 3 divisions of Lexus racing we had in our season 2 opener from Pure Racing League with those amazing Group 3 Lexus cars last weekend. Well, we got a doozy for you here today. It is our season opener. It's the inaugural season as well of the Pure Racing League Masters Series. Masters Series, you say, Ghost? Do explain more. Well, let me fill you in a little bit about what we can expect to see this season from Pure Racing League in the Masters Series. It's going to be a 1-division series here in this Masters Series, and what we're going to see is a different variation of road-style cars mixed in with some, of course, of our class racing cars that we're used to seeing here, of course, from our leagues, in a Nations Cup style setup here from Pure Racing League. So they're taking a little bit of style of racing from the PD playbook here, and they're bringing it to the community here to come and try out as well. It's a little bit of free extra practice in a sense for these GTWS events that come in through the online qualifiers. So it's free practice here from Pure Racing League with this Master Series, essentially for a Nations Cup style setup. So we're going to see some crazy settings, some great track car combinations that we don't see often. And today we're going to start off with a fairly newly released car here in Gran Turismo 7, and that is the 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 RS 992. Oh, this is a beautiful car, ladies and gentlemen. This car is as good as its bigger brother, the actual GT3 version, the Porsche 911 2017 in the game. And this car is equally as quick, uses up a lot more fuel, and is an absolute blast to drive around the racetrack. So the drivers are out there. They're running some free laps right now. It's kind of the end of the final practice session here from Pure Racing League. Race Control will get these guys off the track here in a couple minutes, and we'll have qualifying underway in about 9 to 10 minutes time here. So qualifying is scheduled for 5 minutes past the hour. So I am your host for the evening, GT45 Gaming. Welcome in, and family friendly broadcast, everybody. So please don't be shy to let the kids sit down and hang out with y'all while we watch this. What's going to be an absolutely fun race. Now remember, these are not race cars today, ladies and gentlemen. These are street cars. They are very sports set up street cars in real life, and they're not a whole lot different here in Gran Turismo 7. So the process for getting these cars implemented into the game, they real scan every square millimeter of these cars, inside out, every orifice, every air hole, every nook, every cranny, every nut, bolt, screw, wire, every length of wire. They scan these cars right to the tilt. They put these things on machines. They do dyno testing. They do all those things. They tune these cars in different ways, run all that stuff, and all that information gets input into the game, and we end up with as a realistic version of the cars we can get here at Gran Turismo 7. So they go through quite a process to get these cars into the game, and this one is a doozy. So we're in for a really quick race here today. It's a 20-lap race. It's going to be 1 times fuel, 1 times tire. The drivers are required to use the Racing Hard tires today, and it's going to be an interesting race. Needless to say, we're on Watkins Glen short version, so it's basically the Watkins Glen Grand Prix circuit without the toe section, or the boot section, pardon me. So when they come out of the bus stop and we go around the carousel, instead of setting up to make that left-hander to enter into the toe boot section, the drivers will just hit a straightaway leading directly into the chase, which would be the final couple corners of the Watkins Glen full Grand Prix circuit. I don't have this particular map available for everybody. I do apologize, as we haven't gotten that far into all the tracks in the game yet. But great racetrack. We're going to see high speeds here. We're going to see a lot of passing opportunity on this circuit as well. So this is going to be a high speed, high intense, door-to-door kind of race here for 20 laps. 20-lap race should make for about a 38 to 40-minute race. We'll have a 10-minute qualifier leading up to that. Of course, it will be fastest first, lined up in pole position to our slowest in the last place position on the grid from qualifying. There is a bonus point for fastest lap and bonus points for pole position. So pole position, very important in qualifying. And of course, fastest lap during racing conditions, also important for those bonus points in the back pocket. We have seen many, many times in championships be determined by those bonus points. All right, so it looks like all our drivers are here. We are missing a few of our regulars here this afternoon due to Super Bowl. So for those of us that are enjoying the festivities of NFL football today, I hope you all enjoy. I'm probably getting in trouble for saying that. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, so we do have some big names here in the lineup that we will most certainly recognize. And then we have some names that we should recognize from our GT3 series last weekend here as well in the lineup here. So not all the drivers as ambitious to take on some of these more difficult races. This is more of a technical championship, the Master Series here for PRL. And it's going to require a lot of practice, a lot of testing, and a lot of hard work. These cars are no joke. There are some combos in this lineup for this season that are going to be absolutely insane. Stuff that you only do in video games. Let's put it that way. Welcome to everybody. We appreciate all the reactions on the streams. I don't see my chat updating. And that may be because we just haven't had any comments yet, which is unusual, but that's all right. All right, everything looks like it's running great here so far today, so fingers crossed that we have a nice smooth transition with this brand new look here for Pure Racing League as well this week. We had a couple of technical issues last weekend, so hopefully we've got those sorted out for this week, but something different we'll do after the broadcast. So when the race is over here today, we will have a short little break. And what that break will do is give drivers, our top 3 drivers, that is, our first, second, and third place finishers on the night, a chance to get up to the podium booth and have a little chat with us after the race. So they'll sit down and we'll have a little talk with each of our podium finishers after the race and, well, pick their brains, see what they have to say. And then, of course, we'll send off the broadcast with a few commentator notes and a few race recaps. And it should be about, I would say, an hour 15 to an hour and a half broadcast today for those of us watching at home. Comment, appreciate it, Rob. Yeah, okay, everything's working. Aaron, Nolan, appreciate y'all. Been having a little bit of issues with the software lately, so I got to double check. I can't help it. It's my OCD. It kicks in full-fledged when things have gone wrong in a previous broadcast, so can't help myself. Appreciate this community. Absolutely top level. Speaking of top level, the drivers on the grid. You guys can see it on the screen. I know it's on a much smaller version because we're not on the big screen for everybody yet. We'll flip that over when qualifying starts. We got Robert Heck in the lineup here today. We've got our 2024 Manufacturers World Champion in the grid here today. We got Medi on the grid today. We've got VQS Risky on the grid today, aka Risky Replicant. We got SV's Payme on the grid today. We've got ERA Jakey on the grid today. We've got Lucas 369 on our grid today. We've got Tombox on the grid today, Division 2 winner from last week. Finalized in the grid today. We've got TTJ set in the grid today. And we've got Bo Snipe rounding out the grid here today. I think we're waiting on one more. So it looks like it's going to be an 11-car field out of 15 cars here today. So geez to our drivers on a busy day for sports fans. Only one lobby tonight. That is correct, Aaron. That is correct. Next weekend will be the big show. The three division series. The Lexus series is back next weekend for round 2. So the restock of your pantries and a little bit of preparation on your beverages for next weekend is highly advised, as we'll have about a 3.5-hour broadcast of really high intense door-to-door action for everybody here from Pure Racing League. So we'll talk about that more at the end of the broadcast as well. Today we are focusing on our inaugural season here from Pure Racing League, though, and this is going to be the Masters Series, and this is going to be a fun one. I'm excited about this one, too. It's different. We're seeing a lot of different cars. We're seeing a lot of different tracks that we just don't typically see in league racing, and it's going to take a lot of drivers out of their comfort zones, and that's kind of the point. That's what makes it interesting. It is anybody's game this season. Obviously, we have got some real high-quality drivers in the field. But you know what? Everybody in here is up for the challenge and up to the task. So we're going to see some great moments, and we're most certainly going to see some heartbreak moments from these drivers today. And that is a part of racing. I mean, real life racing, it's no different. Sim racing, the only difference is we can't really get hurt. And that is the benefit to sim racing over real life racing. So the equipment is free minus the cost of the game. And we can't hurt ourselves minus maybe overextending our shoulders or something like that while we're pulling on our steering wheels. But yeah, so a slight advantage when it comes to the virtual world that we live in here with sim racing, but it doesn't change the fact that it's as competitive and as intense as real life racing, because I assure you, it most certainly is when you get up to these levels of competition that we see here at Pure Racing League. This will be about a 38 to 40 minute race, I believe, overall. 20 laps around walking shorts, not going to take too long in these monster cars that we're racing today. Again, we are racing the 2022 GT3 911 Porsche RS 992 street car today. It is 1 times tire and 1 times fuel. It is racing hard tires required. And yeah, qualifying conditions, ladies and gentlemen. So let's flip it to the big screen. Oh yeah. All right, I'm just going to do a check, make sure everything's working properly. It's never my mic I'm worried about not working. It's always the game audio I'm worried about not working. Alright, I think we got it. Let's go take a peek. if that's better. Let me know if that's better. Alright. I guess I can just listen to it myself, I suppose, too. I'll go to YouTube here. Much better. Alright, we're good. I like that. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's keep going on our proceedings here. Apologize again. I don't know what's going on with the audio with this thing lately, but it is what it is. Alright. Got Rob Heck here still in the lead. We got Meaty still 2.5 tenths in behind. We got Risky here at 0.177 seconds in behind here in third place as well. So right now not able to find any time on each other here. Lucas is still just a little under a tenth in behind Risky as he comes around there. We should have stayed with him there as he's coming through, but it didn't look like he improved. We'll sit with Jakey and looks like Jay said here, our 9th and 10th place drivers on the grid right now, and see if they can find a little bit of time here on the racetrack as they continue to go around. Definitely better, I agree. I'm still a little low. I don't know what else to do about that. Might have to add a little gain into my mic, I guess. We'll work on that in between qualifying and race time here. So Jakey improving there. He is now up into 5th position. And let's get back through our field. So still Rob, and he's improved here to 108.8, but so is Feedy. Meaty coming in with another blazer there too as well, 108.876, and now they're only separated by 6/100ths of a second. So Risky now finds himself half a second behind Heck and Meaty. And still holding off Lucas 369 here. So Lucas 369 here in a little bit of a different look here today. Typical seeing with that orange style living on his car. He's got a nice one rocking and rolling right there. Alright, Toonbox improving on his lap a little bit there too as well. Jakey getting it wrong coming into the bus stop there. Does a great job of getting out of the way of Bo Snipe, who's just coming around into the carousel. Now this is a point where you would normally see the drivers head down into the boot sector, but instead they just get this little straightaway here. And we're going to see it just as Bo goes through the bus stop here. And we come down in through the carousel, and then normally you'd see us get set up for a left-hand 90-degree corner here, but instead the drivers are going to try and keep it tight to the apex here and hit this little straightaway right here. And now that takes us right into the chase here, the final 2 corners of the racetrack. And we can see a couple drivers up ahead there. We got Paymay improving with a 109.5. That moves him up into 6th place there. Bo Snipe is chasing Paymay here, currently in 7th position as he comes around and he finishes through the final corner here. And as we hit the start-finish line, what has he got underneath of him there? It's a 110, so not an improvement there from Bo this time around. We got a penalty here on Rob. Meaty here still chasing. Where is he at? Let's stick with him here currently right now, 2nd on the racetrack. And in that hot pink Porsche right there here on the track today too as well. I don't know how you feel about Lucas not being in orange. Oh, big cut there from Meaty. That might be a packed track limit penalty right there as he goes through the bus stop. I mean, you could take some liberties there. It might have been a little much. I'm not seeing a penalty pop up over the car here, so there we go. Again, what I'm seeing and what actually is the positioning of the car could be 2 different things. We do suffer from that coding in the game, so it is hard to judge sometimes what we're actually seeing compared to what's actually happening. Nice slide coming around that corner. He gets that little tail slide right there. That's really important to keeping momentum around that final corner here on the racetrack as well. And it's going to be a decent lap, and it is going to be pole decent. Just 3/1000ths of a second ahead of Rob Heck here as he's coming around. So Meaty responds right there. Risky here has also improved. Now he's only 3.5 tenths in behind those guys here chasing. Lucas has closed up a tiny little bit there as well. Jakey still sitting in 5th place here. We got Paymay provisionally 6th. We've got Bo Snipe in 7th. We got Finalized sitting in 8th place. We got Toonbox in 9th, and we got J-Set rounding out the field here in 10th position on the track. Toonbox sitting in a little improvement there, but not good enough to improve his position here so far in qualifying. So let's see what Rob here has for an answer to Meaty's time. I mean, that is literally splitting hairs. 0.003 is like trying to slip a piece of paper between 2 objects. It is that close. Yeah, wow. Alright, so Rob's coming through. Oh, and it was at 108.924, so he did not find it on that lap. We got Mehdi coming through here on lap 8 qualifying here. And this will be the last time around for all the drivers as they come across start-finish line here. So the clock has about 30 seconds left on it. And it's going to be a 1:08.801, so it's a small improvement, but nonetheless improvement. Got Risky here. He's carrying a half-second track limit penalty. That's going to kill his final lap here. We got Lucas coming through to stick with Lucas here right now as he's coming through. He's right near the end. We've got Bull Snipe improving on his lap as well a little bit there, but still not enough to change the position currently on the starting grid. So Lucas 369 coming through, and I believe he's in behind Toonbox there as well. So we'll see if he makes the improvement. Toonbox does not make an improvement there. Bo does make an improvement there. Or Lucas, sorry, does make an improvement there, but it's still not good enough to change any positions there. So he's 0.018 in behind VQ. Is Risky right now in second position. So we got Rob Heck coming through for the final time here. He's into the final corner right now. Let's see if he can find that pole position back here from Mehdi. And it is a dogfight here for first and second place right now, and he cannot. So it does look like it's going to be Mehdi here going to take pole position as he comes around. Let's see if he improves here on this lap as well, just to put his stamp on it. And he does not, but 1:08.801 right now seems to be the time holding up on track. Hayme finished up here. We got Toonbox with a big old penalty there, so that is going to kill his final run, and that looks like that is it. That is our grid, so our grid is set here based off our qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. That's all right. The Mazda Touring didn't like those curves? No, I bet not. I bet not. It's a pretty light little car, so a little unstable. All right, we're going to try and add a little bit. Volume to the mic while we have a moment. Keep hitting the wrong button. There we go. All right, so we got 2-minute wait here in between our qualifying session and our race start, and what that's going to allow for is race control to send the track trucks out, just check the condition of the track, pick up any debris, anything like that, quick little safety check, and then they'll line these cars up, and we'll get ready for a green flag drop here today. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with that. Get a little more volume in the mic. A little bit of a heavier car, but the Porsche 992 obviously a quite bit more powerful than the Miatas as well, right? So a handful in one basket and a handful in the other basket, so to speak, I guess. So the drivers nonetheless have got their work cut out for them. I mean, the big trick with this car is that DRS. I mean, you got to really hold that DRS button non-stop through this track, right? So I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of the key is getting those clean exits, getting on that DRS faster than your opponent, essentially, and getting through the gears faster. The DRS is going to help eat the fuel up in these cars a lot faster, of course, as well. And these cars are quite the beast without the DRS, and to begin with. But you know, these are racers. They're going to be using that DRS. So we're gonna see some good racing here today. This should be interesting. I think we got 2 seconds separating, not less than 2 seconds separating. We got 1.5 seconds separating first to 10th place in qualifying. So not that big of a gap. That's essentially these cars nose to tail in a lineup. And you can see on the screen in front of you, you can see those times sitting there in front of us. I mean, you know, that's close. This should make for some good racing. It's going to come down to the drivers not making mistakes, not picking up penalties. That really is going to be the keys here today is those two things right there. Remember, these drivers are on the racing hard tires here today as well, so the tires are going to be very slippery for the first couple rips around this racetrack, maybe even 3 laps around the racetrack before they really start to feel okay. All right, so we're sitting here on the start-finish line with our pole sitter, ERM's Meaty, and our current 2024 Manufacturers World Champion, Kick Them Tires, Light Them Fires. We're going Porsche racing, and we are green, and Rob gets a great launch off the line there, and he is going to challenge for first place coming into turn number 1 here. He didn't quite get the start that Rob got off the line, and we are side by side here for the lead of this race, and we got battles happening in behind here as well, but right now all eyes are on these two here up front. And we're still side by side as we go up in through the S's here, heading towards the bus stop, and neither one of these two drivers are going to give an inch in this fight. These two will fight for this position until one of them finally outright wins the battle. And right now it's Rob Heck leading into the bus stop here ahead. Meaty's going to fall back into second position, settle into line here, and it is race on, ladies and gentlemen. We got Lucas 369 up in position early on here into third place. VQS Risky down 1 into 4th position. We got Toombox up there in 5th place. We got Paymate in 6th. We got JD sitting here in 7th place. He's got Bo Snipe just behind here in 8th position. We got Finalized and Jay said here in 9th and 10th position as well. Alright, so through the first lap here, the cars not separated by a whole lot here. There's a couple of car links separating each car from each other right now, and back to just a smidge off the pace, early pace of a lot of here. 114 on that cold lap here for these drivers, and they are definitely going to be flying here today, so we're just going to keep an eye on our audio mixer mainly. Whole shot, baby, you know it. That was a great run there from Robbie Hector at the start, and he's now got 5/10 of a second gap over Meaty here, and slipstream is going to play a factor here in this race to some extent, but again, these cars don't have a whole lot of aerodynamics packaging to them besides what comes with them for the sports tuning package when you buy these cars. So it's not like a GT3 race car. These drivers have to be a lot more aware of what these cars are doing in and outside of the corners. They don't have that short distance braking that you'd expect from a GT3 car. They need to be a little more considerate about the grip levels at high speeds as well. So as far as a street car goes, a very highly tuned sports car, but it's still nonetheless a difficult car to drive in a racing condition like this. So VQS Risky in 4th place, and everybody's just already very settled in single file. I'm not shocked to see this. This is Nations Cup racing. It's exactly what we expect to see from a series like this, and every mistake counts here, so every driver just doesn't want to force the issue, doesn't want to cost themselves time, doesn't want to make that mistake. Toombox in 6th, we got Paymate, in 5th, Paymate chasing him here in 6th place. We got Uri Jakey just in behind in 7th position, with Bull Snipe in 8th place as well. We got Finalized here in 9th place, and Jay in 10th position as he heads up into the S's here. So it is Robbie Heck still leading the way here. Nothing happening except for right off the race start there. Rob Heck got a great run off the line, got that green flag timing almost picture perfect, and great side-by-side battle to get the lead from our pole sitter. But this race is far from over, only on lap 3 of 20. Now, these 20 laps are going to go quite quickly here, as it's a very short racetrack. You can see they're just 1 minute laps here, so Alright, so Rob and Mitty here, very close together, only separated still by that 4/10 of a second, a little less than a car length separating these two drivers. About a car length, as Mitty is currently the fastest driver on the racetrack. So this is essentially a sprint race in action here. We got Lucas 369 here in 3rd place. He's got 1.4 seconds on the guys up ahead. He's got 3/4 of a second on VQS Risky here chasing in 4th place. We got Toombox right there in 5th place. He's only 3/4 of a second off VQS Risky, so that all the way through the grid at this point. We got 3/10 of a second from Paymate to Toombox. We've got 3/10 of a second from Paymate to Jakey behind the 7th. It's 6/10 of a second between himself and Bo Snipe here in 8th place. It's about 9/10 of a second to finalize, and about 1.5 seconds to Jay here in 10th place. Some of the drivers coming in as substitutes here today as well. Some of these are our full-time drivers here for the series. You should have signed up to keep Jay company. I'm sure Jay's gonna love that comment when he sees it later. Alright, so it is Rob here, and he is moving and grooving, but he is not shaking our manufacturer's world champion here. Cool, calm, collected is this driver, and he's just playing the game. Right now, just staying close. Maybe Rob makes a mistake, he can just take a free advantage of opportunity, or we're going to see a battle happen before the end of this race between these two, but I suspect it'll be a 2-lap battle. It won't be a elongated battle, just for the simple fact that the driver doesn't want to give the other driver an opportunity to attack back. We got the UQS Risky here. He's closing in on Lucas 369 here. So first and second starting to pull away from third and fourth place here. But third and fourth place starting to pull away from fifth, sixth, and seventh place. And we're starting to develop little packs here as we get around the racetrack right now. Pit stops, I don't think we're going to see any pit stopping here today. I think this is a full send style race here today. Alright, so it's Payme here in the third group of cars, and this group of cars is quickly turning into a four-car pack here now with Bo Snipe getting very close in behind. Payme here with a 1 second track limit penalty, and that is not going to be ideal with 3 cars within about a second of proximity of him here. So as we come around the final corner here, of course you'll have to serve this on this next lap coming around. So right now his objective is to try and gain as much distance on these guys as he can here through the 6th lap. So he has to serve that penalty coming out of the carousel onto the little mini straightaway. Hopefully he can still be on the backside of his pack, because he's definitely going to lose these 3 positions here with this 1 second penalty. So this is automatically served at our electronic enforcement penalty serving zone provided by Gran Turismo 7. It's a new feature here in the game. And what it does is it cuts the engine power to the driver's engine for the amount of time asked for by the officials, and when that timer is up, the engine power is restored to these drivers' cars and they can continue on with the race. So for the full duration of the second, we will not have any access to engine power, and that is how they serve that penalty. And bada boom, back on the power. And he did a really good job there at, looks like, only going to lose 1 position here. It's a tough battle here, though. Bo Snipe is forced to go on the outside, but that gives him the inside track coming into the final corner here. Bo Snipe's going to get the job done, so Payme does a pretty good job defending the racetrack there in that corner, but Bo Snipe gets the job done, so Payme does lose 1 position there with that penalty. He did do a pretty good job there of opening up the gap and not lose all 3 of those positions with those guys so close behind him. So it is still Rob and Meta here, and basically nose to tail, still that 1 car's length separating these 2 drivers here. 0.3 of a second as we enter into the bus stop here on lap 7 of 20, and this race is far from over from these 2. It looks harmless, but these are 2 of North America's best here, 2 of the world's best here in Gran Turismo 7. Let me get that correct. So, of course, we got our French driver chasing right now in 2nd place. You know this is far from over. You just know that this is all just them being patient, not making that mistake. VQ is risky here. He's now moved up into 3rd place solely here, and he's in no man's land at the moment. He's 4.7 seconds in behind 1st and 2nd, but he has opened up that 4-second gap there to that leading pack in behind. So we got Bo Snipe here in 4th place. I'm not sure what happened to Timbox there. He's now down into 6th position, so a little bit of trouble for that driver potentially here at some point in the racetrack. We just missed it, unfortunately. Payme here in 5th place. We got Toonbox down in 6th place, so Payme back up in the 5th place. Toonbox down a couple spots here into 6th position. Jakey in 7th place here, and he's just tucked in behind Toonbox there. And let's take a look at his car. There's some damage on it. At least finalized now up into 8th place, so maybe a little bit of contact between himself and Lucas 369 here. At some point during that last lap, as Lucas, who was our 3rd place driver, is all the way down into P9 here. So interesting. We got Jay here in 10th place and a 0.5 second penalty to serve when he gets to that enforcement line. So, all right. interesting set of events there on laps 7 and 8 of our race here today, as drivers are swapping some positions. The mistakes in a short race like this, the mistakes really are crucial. You really got to try not to make them, and unfortunately for Lucas 369 especially, and apparently Toonboxer right now, that it cost him positions, and those are going to be positions that are going to be very hard to track back down here on the racetrack in such a short distance race. So it is Rob Heck and Medi here, and now we are nose to tail. I mean, it looks like Medi is getting a charge on Rob here. Rob made a slight mistake somewhere, or just got something a little less better than Medi did in behind, and he is all over Rob Heck here now as they come around the carousel, heading into this little straightaway here leading up to the chase. So there's some good racing here right now, and these drivers, it's all or nothing. It's all or nothing. They both definitely want to win this race. So VQS Risky just coming around the corner there, and that's about a 5-second gap in behind there right now. And the gap at the start-finish line here to start our midway point lap of the race, lap number 10 here. The gap is 2.5 tenths of a second between our first and second place drivers on track. We got VQS Risky here. He's in third position, and the gap is 6.2 seconds. He's still got 4.7 seconds on this charging second pack of cars here. And so right now it's led by Payme. So Payme has gotten back around Bo Snipe here. So Bo Snipe in fifth position. He's got Jakey in sixth position just in behind. And then this pack is kind of separated just a little bit of a gap to the other half of the pack here. So Toonbox in seventh, finalized in eighth. Lucas in ninth place. And then Jay in 10th place here, just a little bit in behind these guys. Alright, so nothing really happening here yet. It's unfortunate we missed to see what caused the position losses to T-Box and Lucas, but you know, it is what it is. Slowly but surely, badass. Yeah, slowly but surely. We got a lot of fill-ins today too because of Super Bowl Sunday as well. So some of our drivers, some of the full-time drivers are have reserves sitting in their place here today. We've got Rob here still in the lead of this race, and he's opened up the gap a little bit here on Medi. So he's almost got 0.6 of a second there, so doubled the gap on lap 10 there between those two. So in their world, at that pace of these World Tour guys, that's a cushion. It's not much of a cushion, but it's a cushion nonetheless at the level those guys are at. We got VQS Risky here. He's 6.5 seconds in behind Medi and Rob Heck, and again, in these guys' world at this level, that is a cushion. I mean, Medi and Rob aren't even thinking about VQS Risky currently behind him with a 6-second gap. Now, in our world, as average peon drivers, we're thinking about that 6-second gap. But right now, all our first and second place driver are thinking about is how am I going to win this race, and nothing more at this point right now currently. We got Payme here in fourth place. We've got Bo Snipe just in behind there in fifth place, and ERA's Jakey here in sixth place as well. So I mean, slipstream driving at its finest here right now by this back half of the field here, and Toonbox having some struggles here. It looks like he slowly but surely continues to fall down the field here on the racetrack. Finalized now, has found himself up into seventh place here. We got Lucas up into eighth place, and Toonbox here with whatever trouble he's had here down into ninth place, and J-Set just chasing their 4 seconds in behind as well. So on lap 12 right now, it is Robert Heck commanding this race, and he's been in the lead of the race since about halfway through the first lap here. So our pole sitter was Medi, our current manufacturer's world champion here in Gran Turismo, but Rob got a great launch off the line, absolutely timed that green flag drop perfectly, and got up side by side with our pole sitter, and a great first half lap battle between these two. Rob Heck got the job done just leading into the bus stop and hasn't given it up since. But again, these two know better. They know if they just sit here and battle back and forth for the next 20 laps, that's going to play into the hands of the guys chasing them in behind. So they're going to play nice here for a while. They're going to open up the gap as big as they can, and then they'll battle it out between the two of them, ideally, is what's happening here right now on the racetrack. Gap is 0.6 of a second, and again, this is controlled driving by these two. I mean, looks like Rob's got a little bit of advantage right now, but I think when Medi's ready to start closing up that gap, I'm sure he'll be able to start to close up that gap. Rob is doing a great job at maintaining the pace here right now in this race. He's getting quicker, Chad, for sure. We got VQS and Risky here in third position, 7.8 seconds. He's doing a pretty good job here in third place, and just losing a little bit of time per lap, about 0.8 of a second here or so on those guys up in front right now. Payme here's 5.4 seconds in behind the podium right now, and he's still got Bo Snipe and Jakey chasing here in 56th place. And again, this is just patient driving right now by racers for the most part. Bo got a little bit of a wide entry coming into the carousel there, and that really allowed Jakey to close in on him here. And that 1.5 second penalty there for Bo Snipe somewhere along the way on this lap here as well. So that is a tough one to be swallowing here, and he'll have to serve that on the next lap. So much like it was for Payme a few laps ago, his objective here now is to try and open the gap up as big as he can, and it's going to be tough with the car in front of him. So that's a tough penalty to be sitting on here. So Jakey's objective here is just to stay as close as he can. He should get a free pass here, finalized, maybe in a position to take advantage of it, but he really needs to work this lap up here a little bit, get a little bit closer. And Lucas 369, much of the same thing, but he's got a half-second penalty himself, so it's not going to help his cause of gaining the position and the penalty there. And Jay here in 10th place, so going to potentially see a couple position swaps here. We're just going to come check, see what's happening up front here, check on our leaders right at the moment here, Rob and Medi, and right now they're just chilling. They're racing, but they're not battling. Alright, so we got Risky here in third position. We've got Payme in fourth place here, and Payme starting to try and break that toe here. He's got 3/4 of a second on ERA's Jakey right now on the racetrack, and if he can break that toe, he may be able to get away here. We got Jakey, who has done exactly that on finalized here. Has broken the toe right now on that driver, who wasn't quite in the toe yet to begin with, but 1.2 seconds is that gap. So finalized was able to take advantage of the penalty from Bo Snipe. That was a big penalty, 1.5 seconds. And definitely hurting the race this late in the race. So finalized moves up into 6th place. Lucas takes advantage. He goes all the way up into 7th place with that penalty from Bo Snipe there. We got T-Box here, who's grabbed position, and Jay Sets as well, who's grabbed position. So I guess the next question is, did Bo Snipe have a complication after serving that penalty, trying to get back under race pace? Did he maybe have a little incident there? Because I figured he should have maybe lost 1, maybe 2 spots tops there. So something bigger had happened there, I think, when he served that penalty, unfortunately. And again, just not in the right place at the right time here today. We keep missing all the stuff here. And it is Rob Heck and Eddie here leading the charge, and they've been swapping that fastest lap back and forth here a little bit between the two of them here as well. And again, there is bonus points available for that fastest lap, so it is important to try and get that. VQS Risky comes through. He's got that 1 second penalty above him, but he's not panicking at all here. He's trying to close in first and second place here, but he doesn't have a whole lot to worry about right at the moment in behind him with Payme and chasing cars, because that gap is about 5.6 seconds, and it's only got 4.5 laps remaining here on the track, including the lap we're on. Jakey in 5th place, starting to lose touch with Payme here, so the slipstream is about broken here. This is about the edge of it. He's right on the tail range of that slipstream. Finalized is starting to close in on Jakey a little bit here as well, so trying to get into the toe of Jakey here, a 6th place driver. He's done a great job of just picking him up one at a time here through the field in this race. We got Toonbox here in 8th place. He had a great qualifying. He just had a little bit of a strugglesome race here today. He's currently sitting in 8th place. We got J-Set here in 9th position. We got Bo Snipe in last place here, 14 seconds in behind there. We got some damage there on his race car, so pardon me again, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely had an incident there, I'm assuming sometime during the penalty serving process or thereafter, probably trying to get back under, again, up the power. With that DRS and hard tires and a little bit of wear in the tire now, maybe just enough for a little bit of an over throttle moment, and maybe got himself into the spin, but you hate to see it nonetheless. So as we suspected, we're on lap 17 of 20 here, and that gap, was about 6 tenths, 5 tenths of a second over the last 3-4 laps here between Rob and Medi here. And, well, Medi's done, world champion things, and started to close the gap back up. So, here we go. It is going to be time to see if Medi can close up the gap and put the pressure on Rob Heck here and try to take the lead away here. So Rob has led the entirety of this race. Got a great jump from second place. Got ahead of our pole sitter Medi leading into the bus stop on lap 1 and has been in the lead of the race since. But Medi has not let Rob run away at all. He's just been there, sitting in behind him, staying nice and close, waiting for an opportunity. That opportunity has not yet easily arisen, so now he's going to have to make an opportunity for himself here as this race is drawing very close to an end. So these are two very skilled drivers, they're very equally paced drivers, and it's hard to say which one of these two drivers at the end of the day is going to take the checkered flag first here. And you never know, VQS Risky could potentially still be close enough to pick up the pieces if everything goes wrong, if those two start battling up there. We got Paymate in 4th place. Finalized has gotten around Jakey. He gets it done now, finds himself in 5th place. Jakey here in 6th position. We got Lucas in 7th. We got Toonbox in 8th. Lots of penalties. We got Jay said here in 9th place, and we got Bo in last place. So it is Rob and Medi coming across the start finish line, and game on. Here we go. He is tucked right underneath that rear wing of Rob Heck here now, and we're on lap 19 of 20, so we are 2 to go here. And it is battle on for the race lead. We quickly run back through our field and make sure we got a check. We got Lucas getting around Jakey here as well. So Jakey dropping a couple of positions here late in the race. And here we go, battle on. Rob going defensive. Medi takes the outside line, and we're going into the bus stop side by side. A little bit of contact there. They may have touched. It's very, very close, and Medi gets a little bit of a slide out of the deal, so he's going to have to set back up. He's going to have to get the car gathered back up, and he's going to have to try and close back up here on Rob. There is still time for this battle to continue, so he did attempt to make something happen there in the bus stop, but it just didn't happen this time around, and he still has time. He still has another lap to re-engage this battle, so here we go. The gap, 6 tenths of a second, is going to be a hard gain here for Medi now on Rob Heck here as we start our final lap of the race, lap 20 of 20, and we are going to potentially see one more attempt at this here from Medi. Let's see if he can close up the gap. We got them taking a great run down out of the 90, corner number 1 here, heading up in through the S's. This is an uphill sector. So definitely full speed section leading all the way into the bus stop here, and the gap is closing a little bit as you see that slipstream starting to take effect here. And going into the bus stop, I mean, there's only a couple of corners left here. Medi is running out of racetrack to make something happen. We got cars getting a little bit closer together here and behind them as well, but we're going to stick with our front 2 here for the rest of this lap as we come around the carousel here leading into the chase, and this little straightaway. We got 2 corners remaining here on the racetrack, and barring any major mistakes here, it's going to be Rob Heck to take it here today. And I think Medi realizes that, and you can just see he just kind of backed off there, and he's just going to accept the 2nd place finish here today. So it's going to be Robert Heck with the race win here today in our inaugural opener of our Masters Series. Congratulations, Medi's going to take 2nd place, and it's going to be VQS Risky coming home here in 3rd position today. So congratulations to our podium finishers, and that was a good run there from Risky. We got SV's Paymate coming through, and it's going to be 4th place for Paymate there, and he a little bit of a shaky start, but a strong finish finalized with a great drive through the field here today. Lucas in 6th, Jakey in 7th. Got Toonbox coming through here. It's going to be an 8th place finish for him. Finalized starting all the way in 9th position here at the start of this race, finding himself up in 5th place to finish it. We got TT's JSEC coming across here in 9th position, and Bo Snipe is going to bring it home here in 10th position as well. So unfortunate situation there. I think what happened to Bo there, but he's still going to bring that car under its own power across the start finish line to finish round number 1 from our Master Series here. Congratulations to all 10 of our drivers on the racetrack today. We've been getting that a lot lately too in the game, so some new stuff happening, some new issues I'm seeing. So it is Rob Heck with the race win and the fastest lap on the racetrack, a 108.997. So he just nips that away from Medi, who finishes here in second position. It's going to be VQS Risky in third, Paymay in fourth. It's going to be finalized in fifth place. Lucas 369 in sixth position. ERA's Jakey in seventh place. It's going to be Tumbox in eighth. It's going to be TT's J-Set in ninth place, and Bo Snipe rounding out our field here in 10th place. Good job to all the drivers. Appreciate all the subs coming out, racing on short notice here today, and that was a good one. That was most certainly a good one. So we're gonna go jump into the interview room. And get all the good stuff set up there. And we're going to give our drivers a couple of minutes to wait here. So we should be waiting for Robert Heck, Medi, and VQS Risky. Now, it's not required, obviously, that they show up for the podium interviews. Some of them may have somewhere else to be or somewhere else that they need to be racing currently here on track. But we should be seeing our drivers here shortly. So just bear with me here. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Appreciate the patience here. Just had to switch a couple things up. Got to get some audios all sorted out. You know, all the good stuff. All the good stuff. All right. We haven't tested the podium interview audio yet on the overlay, so bear with. Watch your ears. It could be a little loud to start off with. I do apologize if that's the case. All right, so let's jump in there and let's go have a little chatsies with our podium finishers. So we do have our third place driver and our first place driver here with us, and we may not have our second place driver, potentially due to language barrier, but we're going to start off with VQS Risky. So, aka Risky Replicant for the community. I'm sure many of us that are watching already knew that, but just recently jumping on board with VQS Racing Team here over the last couple of months, and he's been working hard with those guys, and it sure looks like it's paying off on track. You had a really, really great race, some good hard battling early on in that pack, and eventually you broke free from that pack, but unfortunately you weren't able to be in the tow of first and second place there. But great racing out there in a pretty fun car as well in the game. So talk to us about how it was driving the car around the track today, and of course let the fans know how the race was for you today as well.
Hi, well, it's good to see you again. I know we've recently had a series together. It's definitely good to see you again. Um, I had a really bad start, first of all. I misshifted right off the bat, and Luke was able to get in front of me on my inside. So I guess I'll have to practice my starts next time. I'm pretty happy with my qualifying. Um, that went really well. I knew the battle with Luke was going to be pretty much neck and neck the whole race, based on his pace. And I knew that it was going to be pretty much impossible to keep up with Medi and Robbie, just because I mean they're World Tour drivers and they're on top of the game. They really had fantastic pace today. And yeah, as far as the race goes, I think Luke ate the curb too much. I think he took too much curb on entry, and it upset his car, and he went just to the right side completely, and it was really unfortunate because I was trying really hard to catch up to him, and I haven't actually practiced racing in dirty air, so it was kind of difficult for me once I got closer. But I was kind of hoping that towards the end of the race I'd be able to catch him, but unfortunately he did have that accident. So I know it's going to be tough, close battles with him for the rest of the season, but I really enjoyed it. The combo's fun. It's something new to learn as far as car control goes. So I think Robbie had a pretty good choice here as far as challenging all the drivers. And yeah, I hope I get another podium at some point. But if I don't, I don't. I'm still happy I got at least one in there, and looking forward to the next race.
Absolutely, and we got a doozy coming up in a couple of weeks' time here from the Master Series as well, which we'll talk about a little bit later at the end of the broadcast here. But comparing the street version 992 Porsche to its bigger brother, the GT3 911 RSR, which one do you think is more fun to drive?
I'm not sure. The 992 that we drove today was pretty challenging as far as the body roll and how the car takes the corners was really challenging. So I don't know, but I actually really enjoyed this, despite my thumb nearly falling off for holding DRS for the whole race. But yeah, I don't know. I like all Porsches. I'm a big Porsche guy, so I mean, different things to like about different cars.
Absolutely, and I mean, it was an uneventful race for you. Like you said, it was a little bit of a chaotic early race for you. You kind of had to battle your way through, and then Lucas had that unfortunate step out there. But that's racing. That's just the way it goes. And you were in the right place at the right time, and ending up with that third place finish at the end of the race. But for the most part, uneventful at that point for you. You just kind of had that big gap, and just had to bring it home. So, anything you want to add to your racing day here today, and any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to throw out there?
Well, I'm I'm super excited for the series. I'm looking forward to learning new things from the top drivers. There's definitely a lot of things to learn. As you see, the gap was pretty big, so I definitely want to improve. That's my goal for the remainder of the series. And definitely thank you again and Robbie for GT45 Gaming for doing the stream and hosting for us. And thank you for viewers for coming by and watching us race.
Absolutely, and great racing out there today, and cheers, and can't wait to see what you got for us in the next round.
All right, thank you. Congrats, Robbie.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have our second place driver, so we will go talk to Rob.
He's on his way.
Is he on his way? Okay.
He's on his way.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
Give him a second.
no worries, no worries. I mean, we'll talk with Robbie for the meantime. I mean, he's one of the administrators here at Pure Racing League, so he's kind of the mastermind behind what we got going on here. Round one finally gets underway. Everything you were hoping it would be?
Yeah, I mean, despite it being on the Super Bowl, I mean, I can't believe the NFL decided to schedule the Super Bowl on the same day that I had PRL scheduled for. But we'll talk with the NFL after this. Maybe maybe next year we can get in on their halftime show or something. But
Ooh, I like it.
yeah, I mean, as far as everyone showing up today, really thank you so much for all the subs that came out today. Um, yeah, I'll just announce this here. We're gonna have two drop races this season just because of the low turnout for round one. I think that's only fair considering I know people have had plans for a long time, for Super Bowl party. So we'll have two drop rounds for Masters. Um, as far as that goes, I didn't want to have to reschedule anything after all the setbacks we've had. Um, yeah, we were racing today, no matter what.
Absolutely, and love the different style of series. But we do have our second place finisher here with us here now. So let's jump over and have a quick chat with our 2024 manufacturers world champion, ladies and gentlemen, which is something pretty special. So first of all, it's an honor to be able to speak with you. And tough racing out there tonight. Rob had a great pace, got a great launch off the start line, and you attempted that move there on lap 19, weren't quite able to get it done, and then just had a little bit too much to make up there. So talk us through the race here today, and let us know what was kind of going through your mind as you were following Rob and trying to figure out kind of, I guess, your plan of attack here before the end of the race.
Well, for the start, yeah, my timing was a little bit off, so Robbie took advantage of that, and then yeah, he managed to stay side by side until the chicane. So I decided to let him by, and then yeah, I was planning on trying to make a move on later on the race, but yeah, like I couldn't do it. Like if like how can I say? Like I was catching up on the straights, obviously, but then at the chicane, I have to make sure that I don't hit him. And then like I don't know if that's a thing, but I still don't feel like there was some dirty air like for the very long high speed corners. So yeah, I struggled to keep the same gap to him to in order to stay close and make a move. But yeah, I wasn't able to do that. And then lap 19, like it's a desperate move. Like it's there's almost no way to get through the chicane on the outside and like overtake the guy on the inside. But I still had to try it, and yeah, the game decided to give me 1 second pen for that, I guess. that, yeah, that annoyed me a lot, but yeah, it is what it is. It was a great race. Yeah, like it was like a mind games in the end, of trying to put pressure and all, but obviously Robbie kept it together, and then yeah, couldn't do anything. So congrats to you, Robbie, again.
Yeah, thank you.
And absolutely, and I mean, in a sense, this is kind of a free practice season for some of you guys to prepare for, of course, the next upcoming Nations Cup qualifying tournament. So, it's really great to see all you guys out here doing this for the sim racing community and being a part with the sim racing community. But how similar, I guess, is this to what you guys see in the Nations Cup in the GTWS? And are you looking forward to the free information, I guess, in a sense that you're going to gain from this series moving in towards the next qualifier as well?
um, like, do I have to answer, or it's also Robbie?
For you first, Mehdi.
Okay, okay. Yeah, well, I'm to be fair, I'm not really sure about me doing the GT World Series this year. I mean, it's not decided yet, but yeah, like I'm not really sure if I'm gonna be available or for that this year. Well, I hope I will be available, but for now I cannot really tell. But yeah, like this format, like yeah, it feels like a Nations Cup race. Like sometimes you have like races where it's uh start to finish without any strategy. It's you have to make the move as soon as possible. Um, but yeah, it's a good practice for Nations Cup, definitely. Like it's possible to have these kind of combos like that. So yeah, it's a good thing. I enjoyed that one anyway.
Absolutely, and of course, moving into round two, a lot of the regular full time drivers that qualify for the series in their normal spots will be back on the track too. So the competition is going to get a little more intense as well. But all in all, great racing out there today for a smaller grid. And I guess anything you want to add to your race today, and any shout outs or thank yous you'd like to throw out to the viewers watching at home. Yeah.
Well, nothing particularly. Just to saying again, congrats to Robbie for yeah for that race. Like from the start to the finish. As I said, he kept it together very well. Most of people wouldn't. So congrats to him again for that.
Absolutely, and congratulations on another great race here today. It was a great show watching you two driving nose to tail around the racetrack in these absolutely great Porsche street cars here today. And thanks for taking a little bit of time to come and chat with us as well today. And I can't wait to see what you have next weekend in that Division One Group Three Lexus. He'll be defending as he was our round one winner there in the Group Three as well last weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So congratulations, and possibly be talking to you next weekend.
All right, thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the man standing on the top of the podium here today, he fell a little bit short last weekend chasing this man down, and he got the upper hand here this weekend in the Masters Series in this Porsche 992 road car, Mr. Robert Heck. And again, the man, the mastermind behind the series. So congratulations on a really great race. You got an amazing start when the green flag dropped there. You timed that perfectly. That's like a drag racer's like perfect light right there. You got a great run, side-by-side battle, nice clean battle between you two for the first half of the first lap and edged him out into the bus stop. And then really it was just kind of don't let him get by you from there. And you did a great job of that. So talk us through how it went for you today and what goes through your mind knowing you've got the world champion chasing you down and knowing, of course, obviously the skill and pace that the driver has in behind you as you guys have raced together quite often. So
I mean, the man just doesn't make mistakes. It is so hard to stay in front of him. There was a few laps there where I would make a couple small mistakes, and he would just gain on me. And I knew exiting the first corner, if I didn't have maybe a 3.5 tenth gap on him, he was going to have a run at me before the chicane. And on lap 19, well, I think it was on lap 18, I made a mistake or two, and he ended up catching me, and I knew I was going to be in trouble there. It's so hard to control the car over the chicane as well, going side by side. And we had it. I just don't know why it gave him a 1 second penalty. It was a little. I mean, that's just how this track is with that corner. If you lose time in the chicane, then it gives you a penalty. I don't understand it. But yeah,
I don't either.
yeah, it was a really tough race trying to stay in front of Medi. I mean, after last week, us running some different strategies, and it felt good to get him back this round. So we'll see what I can do next week. But Medi's really tough competition. I mean, he showed why he's champion. So.
absolutely, and I mean, obviously, you two are not unfamiliar with racing each other. You guys are obviously competing each other at the highest level that the game has to offer currently right now. So, that plays in a little bit too. But does that factor into when you're racing against each other in these leagues as well, like this? Off the big stage and off the big camera, so to speak. You have a little bit of information on each other. So does that kind of play into how you choose to battle each other and how you try to out strategize each other in these races as well?
Well, it kind of comes down to just being consistent. I mean, there's not really many notes we take on each other. I feel like it's everyone's really good friends, at least at the World Series, and everyone, well, most of everyone at least. There's, I think, very few people that don't get along with each other at these events. And I mean, even off track, we're all pretty good friends. I mean, Medi especially is one of my better friends at the events, I would say. And I mean, for him to, I mean, I don't even know what time it is for him right now. It's got to be around like 1 in the morning or midnight, and he's racing
Yeah,
3 hours.
1 in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I would be sleeping. So I, as always, I mean, I always appreciate Medi showing up to these races despite how late it is for him.
Absolutely, and I mean, racers are racers, and the thrill of competition is just the thrill of competition as well, right? So I mean, we see that a lot throughout the sim racing community through all sorts of different leagues and variations of event organized racing. But this has been a spectacular start to the Masters series. I think that the setup and the format of the series is different. We're not used to seeing this in this style of league racing outside, of course, the big stage. So I think it's going to be fun to see how the community responds to it, and of course handles all the different kind of car track combinations that you have planned out for the season. And round two is no exception. It should be pretty fun as well. A little more real world round 2 as well, so that should make it a little extra fun. But putting these things together, being the organizer, trying to get all the drivers together, trying to get everybody in line, get the P's and Q's in the right spot. It takes a lot of work behind the scenes, but you've had 2 really great races finally go off here to get these seasons underway. So I guess, what is it now that you expect to see here through the rest of the season of these 2 really great driving communities you have going on here?
Well, for GT3, of course, we want to. I mean, initially we were, the organizers, we were a little bit down to see only. We were feeling a little down to only see 3 divisions again. But when the competition raised so much higher than the previous season, we were okay with it. For Masters, I mean, it's still up in the air now. I mean, if more people sign up for Masters, I mean, I'm willing to put the time together to put together a Division 2 for Masters. That way, it's more fun for some of the guys at the back, and they have some closer competition. Um, but it is really hard trying to get all this organized. And at the end of the day, I mean, if people don't want to race, frustrating combos. So I try to make every race as fun and as exciting as it can be. Um, and so far, I'm really happy with how these first 2 races have gone. I mean, Masters today, I mean, I can't thank everyone enough for still showing up today and getting 10 drivers out there. That was great. So I'll be looking forward to seeing a nice full lobby next week. I'll be expecting it, that's for sure. And yeah, just the usual competition will definitely be showing up for the rest of the season. I mean, it's great practice for Nations Cup for the GT World Series. And yeah, I mean, these are potential combos we could see, or at least similar style of races. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Absolutely, and it just so happens we had a viewer in the Facebook check actually just asking if they can still join. So if you're still in watching, Jordan, absolutely you can still join. It is open to all skill levels of drivers, and if you need anything further, hit me up on the Facebook Messenger, and I'll get you a Discord invite, and we'll get you in there and get you involved, my guy.
Yeah, we never turn anybody down, so.
And again, more drivers will gain interest as this continues to hit the airwaves as well. A lot of drivers probably not even really fully aware that this is going on, or this style of series is going on. It's different. There's a lot of community members that are looking for these streetcar style series, these Nation Cup style series, and they're few and far between. So it's a good possibility we could see some pickup here over the next week or 2 as well on it. But let's get back to your race at hand. I mean, great race. You had great competition. You were fending off one of the best in the business right now. You're no slouch yourself, obviously, as you have high amount of accolades and been competing on a high level for quite some time. But next, like you said, next round's the full field's going to be back. We're going to have our full grid that is, of course, qualified in. Going to see a much different race. So, how do you prepare going in for that race, knowing that the competition is going to get even stiffer moving into round 2 of Masters?
Yeah, round 2 of Masters, I suspect is going to be a really big draft race. So it's going to be a lot about timing and making sure you have good pace. But most importantly, it's going to be a draft race, I think. And it's going to be a lot about timing and not leaving the bus stop chicane, or else maybe not even being P2 by the bus stop chicane. I think maybe P3 might be the place to be. It'll depend, though. How much people want to work together and how much people want to, be selfish during the race. I mean, it'll be really exciting. I think in 2 weeks, round 2 of Masters is going to be crazy. I mean, it's basically like a Spec Miata race around Daytona, 24-hour layout.
I was just
gonna
gonna
be
say, if anybody was absolutely just chin on the floor, tongue rolling out, excited about the IMSA Miata races that just happened at Daytona 24-hour a couple weekends ago, you're not going to want to miss 2 weekends from now for PRL. Let's put it that way. That's basically what we're going to see 100%. So I can't wait for it. I'm a big fan of the Spec Miata series through the platform here, so I cannot wait for that round. It's definitely going to be a doozy. Those cars rip around that racetrack relatively well for how big it is. So congratulations on a great win. I mean, tough fought battle today, well earned first place finish, and a little bit vindicated, I guess, so getting that big win over a tough competitor here today. But I guess anything you want to add to the race today, and of course any shout outs and thank yous you want to send out there to the viewers watching at home.
Oh yeah, just thank you for Medi for the really hard race and clean race as always. I mean, Medi's one of the cleanest out there, and yeah, it was a lot of fun racing Medi during this race, and I really want to thank everybody for participating in the league. So, and thank you most of you for the very professional commentary. It's been great. So
You do appreciate it.
really appreciate
We'll
it.
get the bugs worked out of the overlay here, but it went pretty well today for the bugs on the overlay. So I think by next weekend we'll be moving and grooving and everything will be nice and
Yeah.
beautiful here. But I can't wait. It's definitely an honor to be here and commentating for such a great group of racers and of course some high class, down to earth GT7 royalty in a sense too with the drivers we have in the field for both the series. So it's an honor, and the sim racing community definitely loves what you guys are doing here, and just keep up the good work because it's been a lot of fun so far, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season is going to entail. That's for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's recap the day. I mean, besides the fantastic racing, big names on the racetrack, and just professional, great spoken words from our drivers, honestly, privileged. I feel privileged today. I feel honored today to be a part of, again, this. I said this last week, but and I'll probably say it all season long. When I started commentating, I didn't have a lot of goal or ambition with it. I was just kind of figuring out my craft. But now that I've kind of been at this for a while, the goal was to try to get into this network, try to get into with some of the best and the biggest drivers in the business and get an opportunity to watch these guys, broadcast these guys, talk to these guys, learn from these guys. And we have that opportunity, and that opportunity is now presented out to the whole sim racing community from our GTWS drivers. And that is absolutely amazing. And that's what it's all about. That's what makes our virtual world so great, that it doesn't matter what tier or what level or what status you may or may not have in Gran Turismo 7. This is a community, and this really is overall a family, and it doesn't matter what sim racing community you hang out in or you call home. At the end of the day, it's one big giant family, and we all always find a way to get together and have just absolutely great racing. And that is what this is about. We are playing a video game. We are here to have fun, obviously in the spirit of competition. We're human beings. That's just nature. But we have great racing, and it's done by people that are in a sense celebrity status, that in a lot of cases don't get so closely involved with the community on the level that Pure Racing League is getting involved with the community and the GTWS World Tour drivers. I mean, it's not just our North American guys. It's our GTWS guys from all over the world coming in to show the support, show the love, not only to each other but to the sim racing community as a whole as well. And all that's going to do is continue to make the whole sim racing community faster, better, stronger, and it's going to make things more competitive when it comes crunch time and time to compete for those GTWS online qualifiers. So a huge thank you to Pure Racing League, the admin staff behind the scenes to put this all together. It's one thing to get a league together for a bunch of racers. I'm sure it's a whole nother thing to get a league together for a whole bunch of top level racers that probably have fairly high expectations on how that should be organized and set up. So I think that Pure Racing League has done an amazing job presenting these two great championships this season, coming back with the GT3 Championship One Make Series from Season 1. Huge hit. Competition is crazy hard this season. Anybody's game in any one of those three divisions, and any one of those three divisions belongs in any one of the other divisions almost, essentially. So that is how tight it is in racing here in Pure Racing League. And we just seen a little taste of it here for our Master Series. We're going to have all our regulars back on track as well next week, and it's going to be a whole bunch of stacked names on that lobby again. And I mean, we had a stacked lobby today, even just with our fill-ins coming in today. So the competition is stiff, and if you really want to test yourself, you really want to learn from the best, Pure Racing League is definitely where you want to be, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you need more information how to get involved with Pure Racing League, hit me up on my Facebook Messenger page if you're not a follower of the page or you're not in my Discord community, and we'll get the links up in the Discord community for everybody to follow through. I believe there's one up there already for our community at GT45 to go and jump into the server and get involved. So like I said, we get enough interest, we'll open up a second division here at the Masters Series. So there you go, drivers. You get a couple of weeks. Just keeping in mind, these guys are very busy. They have busy schedules. They will get everybody qualified as quickly as they can if we get the big influx of drivers. But it is open to all skill level of drivers. And I promise you're going to learn a lot racing in this series because we're learning from the best in the business right now. These are the guys that are on the top of the game. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to everybody on track today. And just congratulations to us being able to get together as a community and just have some hard fun and have a little bit of entertainment to go with it, hopefully. Again, appreciate everything. Great racing today. Risky getting a great third place finisher from him. Again, he's up and comer. He's one of those guys that's chasing that world stage. The live tour events. He's one of those guys that continues to improve and learn and push harder and try to pick up get that extra little bit of pace he's missing to be right there with those guys. And I mean, he only finished about 10 seconds behind today, and then in a 20 lap race, that's about a half a second a lap loss there for that driver. So I don't think he should be too disappointed. I thought he had a great race today. And of course, Medi and Robbie Heck doing Medi and Robbie Heck things, just controlling the pace and showing why they are on the top of their game right now as well. But man, what a race. And the Master Series is going to test the limits of each and every one of these drivers all season long. So you heard it from Rob Heck. We're going to see a Daytona 24-hour, the Daytona road course in the brand new Miatas released in the game recently here, about 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months back. We brought out a 2022 version of that Mazda Miata, and those are the cars that we're going to see on track. So a little bit of spec Miata racing in 2 weeks' time here from Pure Racing League. But next week is round 2 of our GT3 Championship, and of course that GT3 Championship will be raced at Tokyo Expressway East. Is it counterclockwise or forward? It is clockwise, so it's going to be Tokyo Expressway East clockwise, ladies and gentlemen, for round 2 from Pure Racing League. That will be a 25-lap race. These races start next Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. The live stream will be up approximately 15 minutes before that. We will start with Division 3, take a small break, move right to Division 2, take a small break, and finish it off with the top division, Division 1, to finish off the evening's entertainment. I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out here tonight. And if you haven't already, please do like and share the stream out for us. It is a free thing you can help us to do to grow, get it out there. Let's get the sim racing community in here watching the absolutely fast, action-paced racing we're getting from Pure Racing League here. Definitely the hottest, hardest North American racing series out there to date. You want in? Just join. Get on track. Let's see what you got. Appreciate everybody for viewing today, hanging out. Love you all. Hope we all had fun today. Remember, you all matter. Don't keep it inside. You got to find somebody to talk to. If you don't have anybody you can talk to, there's always somebody in the community that's willing to give you a shoulder to cry on or an ear to listen to, myself included. Please reach out. We just want you all safe and sound and feeling good about yourselves. So you do matter. Every single one of you matter. And it's not something that we just say. It's something that we strongly believe in, and we are here to listen. Thank you to the racers, putting in the time, being here on a very busy sports day today, putting in on a great show for the fans. To the viewers that are here as well, thank you for being here today on a busy sports day today, watching Pure Racing League. I'm your host of GT45 Gaming. As always, family-friendly broadcast here with our live commentary each and every time we go live with a live race like this. Stay winning, and we'll catch you on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you on the next one.